am Dee Gardner. I am a psychotherapist with Gardner Counseling Services. I'm going to discuss a phrase that I coined that I call permanent brokenness syndrome. Permanent brokenness syndrome is a state of mind and a behavior. It's where a person is trapped in continual introspection. What that means is you have this person that's been on this healing journey, they've been on this recovery journey, this self-improvement journey for a very long time, years, sometimes 10, 15, 20 years or longer. The person finds a brief period of relief. They may go to a workshop, a conference. They may do intense therapy for a while. They may go to their individual therapy, group therapy, community type of groups, some sort of programs. It could be a 12-step free program. It could be a church group. It could be various types of groups. They go to conferences, workshops. They do all the time. Their house may look like a library. They may have so many books, and that's because there's years and years and years and years of healing, of searching, of seeking for some sort of wholeness, some sort of joy, some sort of happiness, only for it to be elusive over and over and over and over and over again. So they go to an event, they get really excited, and it's okay, now I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right home and I'm going to look in the mirror. I'm going to look in the mirror every day and I'm going to say, I love you, I love you, I love you. And that might last for a little bit, a week, a couple of days. Or, I'm going to go home, I'm going to journal, I'm going to write down every day. I'm going to write down what's going on. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to look at positive things on TV. I'm only going to read positive things. And then that lasts for a short period. And then they go back to where they were before. And this cycle just goes on and on and on and on. That's what I call permanent brokenness. It's as if the person's just clings to being a wounded person, this wounded bird, this broken person. This could be men or women. This is not gender specific. They're just stuck in this state of mind. It's their core belief is that they maybe that they don't deserve to do better, or they believe that they deserve to do better, and that's where they're doing so much work, only to face that belief, run into another belief, another core belief that might be you're just not really good enough. There's something going on. There is something going on that this joy, this fulfillment, this life satisfaction, that the person, it remains elusive. There is a problem, there is an issue when the person is continuing. It's like this hamster on a treadmill, where they're not at the treadmill. Well, it could be a treadmill. The hamster wheel that goes around. The hamsters on there, little chubby hamsters and it's running and running and running and running, and then it gets off, and then it stops. It's next to the wheel, and it's breathing really hard, and it hasn't gone anywhere. It hasn't done anything but just ran. It hadn't even lost weight. Anyways, so, and then he gets back on it, running as if it's going somewhere. I wonder if they're really exercising. Are they really having fun? I don't know. But it looks like that, right? Permanent brokenness. Okay, so the person goes to all these events and they do all this work and they read books, maybe even looking at YouTube, and it just lasts for a short period. It doesn't seem to stick. Life happens. They go back to work, go back home alone, go back home to the family where there's a lot of strife and tension and stress, go back into the mundane day in and day out living, because life is mostly the same every day, just about. For most people, it's routine. We're designed to live in patterns. As human beings, we have these patterns, and that's one of the reasons why this pattern is so hard to break, is that permanent brokenness. So the person returns to the shame, guilt, negative self-talk, all that zest for living that they built, where they built themselves up, just kind of starts dying down, and they just start all over again. The person will return to a what I call baseline. The person is normally here. They do something, they go to an event, or they go to therapy, or they go and talk to somebody, go to a group, go and have a good conference or something, a retreat of some, then they go up here, and then they stay up there for a little bit, and then they go back down here, and then they just keep doing this, and they're miserable here. Very miserable. This is not joy. This is not satisfaction. This is not fulfillment. It's miserable. So that I look at that as their baseline. They get stuck at that baseline and can never quite move back up. So when the person's up here, when the emotions are high and they're excited and life just couldn't be any better, it's just a matter of time. We're like, okay. And this is because their baseline is really low. So it's just a matter of time for the next shoe to drop. It's just a matter of time before I'm going to be right back down here. So even being up here isn't true joy and satisfaction. So they're not able to really enjoy being up here because of the belief system is down here. So there's conflict there. There's internal cognitive dissonance, a disagreement there. So I am here to tell you that there is hope. There is hope. The recommendations that I'm going to give you to help you begin to heal from permanent brokenness is simple, and you've probably heard some of this before because you've been on this journey, but are you doing it? What is it going to take for you to finally do it? For you to finally do what you need to do to get that baseline up? Number one, you have a choice. You have a choice. You always have a choice. Nothing's going to change until something changes. Even that cycle. You know, we do something, we read something, you learn a new concept, and it's like, okay, this is it. This is it. Oh my God, this is it. You have a choice as to whether or not you're going to break that cycle.
Number one,
that
empowering
dance.
input. I look at your whole body, your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, your spirit, your soul, everything as all one. And I look at it as a system, and we're constantly putting input. We're constantly giving it input. So it's important to have empowering input in your life. What that means is positive people that support your dreams and your goals. If you have people that are negative, that means only positive people. So limit yourself or remove that out of your life. If you're struggling from permanent brokenness, you need to get the negativity out of your life. You really need to get the negativity out of your life. It's time to be positive and be around positive people. And more than likely, if you've been on this journey for a long, long time, you have an abundance. There are a number of people in your life that can be positive, that do think the way you think. You could put stickies all over the house. Some people put stickies on their planner. Some people put stickies on their mirror. Some people put stickies on wherever, on their dash, positive notes, positive motivations. It might seem really simple. Sometimes it seems silly. If you've been on this journey, you've heard this. You've heard a lot of what I'm going to say already before. This is a reminder. That unconscious part of the brain, the part where all these habits live, the unconscious, that's what we're programming. So it's not a conscious thing. Reprogramming. We're programming. So when you have a little sticky that says you're the best, or you're great, or you're awesome, or you're wonderful, or you're beautiful, or you're strong, whatever that is, it works. Seeing that over and over and over again can help keep you above that baseline, so that these emotions, when life hits you, these emotions don't overwhelm you, and you can kind of intercept that with some sort of very simple cognitive response. Motivational speeches. Look at YouTube. You can look at this video. You can look at YouTube. There are tons of, you know, do a search on motivation for weight loss, motivation for self-esteem, motivation for how to have a good day. Whatever you need, whatever it is you're looking for, it's on YouTube. Books. Read 15 minutes in a book. Develop that habit that no matter what, no matter how, no matter who you meet, no matter how wonderful things are going, no matter how perfect your life seems at the moment, keep reading. 15 minutes a day in a book, in a very positive book. It doesn't always have to be a how to improve this or how to improve that or how to do this or how to say that, or it doesn't necessarily even have to be a self-help book. Have something going into your mind that is uplifting and motivational. You can also start reading some good fiction books that will help you bring out that little girl or that little boy inside of you. Some fiction books that you just enjoy and something just to make you laugh, maybe. Turn off the television. There's not a lot of good stuff on TV, so you might need to go a while without looking at television, or minimal. If you've been on this journey a while, you know the things that make you feel good. You know the types of shows that work for you and the types of shows that work against you. Number 2, empowering daily decisions. You're making decisions throughout the day. Choose empowerment, choose strength, choose positive, choose progression. Even right now, you probably have a decision to make, and it's really clear as far as what's positive and what's negative, what's progression and what's not progression, a progressive decision. Take moment by moment. It's living in the moment. Be mindful of what's going on right now. Think about right now. What's going on? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Look around where you are. Look around. You can even look at this video. Look at my background. What do you see? What do you think? Look around the room where you are. How do you feel? And what do you see? If you're inside, you see a picture, look at that picture and just look at it and observe it as if you've never seen it before. So it's important to be mindful of your surroundings, be mindful of what's going on right now inside of you. When your baseline begins to drop, when you begin to feel down or angry or anxious or out of control, just at the very beginning when it starts, that's when you can do something about it. It's much easier to change how you feel if you're having to go from bring that anxiety down from a 5 to a 1 versus 100 to a 1. So live in the moment. If you're struggling with depression, not doing things, not showing up, I call that not showing up for yourself. You might need to do some self-esteem building behaviors, do some self-esteem building activities. Clean up your room, clean out that drawer, organize that drawer that you've been putting off maybe years. Exercise, move. Motion changes emotions. If you need to just take a minute and just do a couple of jumping jacks right now, do that. Motion changes emotions. And you've known probably since before you were an adult how important exercise is. Goal planning, have some goals, accomplish it. Don't give up. Don't go by just how you feel. Just because you feel better doesn't mean you've reached your goals. Clear, concrete goals. And if you don't have any, that's probably the problem.
I am the Dee Gardner, psychotherapist with Gardner Counseling Services. Remember, change is greener on the other side.